What's up guys, Houndish here, and today, the building is on fire! That is, of course, if the building is Destiny 2 and the Edge of Fate. Let's not be too dramatic, actually, scrap that. We've got a bunch of Destiny news updates right here. Info from Bungie regarding fixes, disabled activities because they're too efficient for power leveling, other things affecting exotic armor, and we'll talk about some upcoming exotic rewards and cosmetics, which are actually pretty interesting. Outside of that though, we get a bit of a roadmap of how some of the seasonal content will be rolling out in the coming weeks, as well as a roadmap of future patches and updates in the near future. So we're going to round everything up in the video, guys. If you do enjoy this one, a rating really does help us out, but otherwise, let's get into it. First up, the Destiny 2 team said, of course a day or so ago now, but we've identified an issue where the Encore mission is substantially easier to complete and dropping higher quantities of rewards than intended within Pinnacle Ops. As such, we've disabled the Encore mission within Pinnacle Ops and the grappler modifier within the portal, and these will be re-enabled at a future date. We'll provide additional details when available. And of course, the main reason that Encore actually got disabled is that players were farming through it at a very quick rate, and yes, it was dropping more loot than it should have been, which was enabling players to power up a lot faster than Bungie ever intended to happen. I've got a few things to say about how this has all panned out in just a moment. Firstly though, I should mention, in the hotfix yesterday, Bungie did update the Encore mission and they've said they've reduced the amount of scored engrams from 4 to 3, and additionally, the chance of awarding bonus focus and bonus drops have been lowered to 66%. So essentially, they've fixed what they deemed to be the problem with actual reward drops inside of Encore, and it's now been re-enabled with those specific changes. Related to the portal though, in the same patch, they did increase bonus drops, improving them to have a chance of being +1 power when between 300 and 400 power. So if you already benefited from Encore earlier in the week, that change in particular will be useful for you right now. The other patch changes included that they fixed an issue with the raid armor set bonuses, and yes, that came before the raid even dropped. Also, an issue where unstable cores could be wiped when creating a new character, as well as some audio issues that could lead to crashes on Xbox. The same can't be said for PlayStation at the moment, which is certainly unfortunate. Otherwise, they fixed an issue where players playing the campaign with a different character could result in it being soft-locked. But back to Encore and the fact that Bungie changed it after a couple of days of a select group of people being able to farm it for a significant amount of time. The problem at this point is that power level influences rewards in Destiny and Edge of Fate far more significantly than what it has in the past. So you've now got players who did farm Encore a considerable amount, and they've gone well into the seasonal power range, which is above 200 power. But Bungie took 2 days to actually disable this piece of content. So what's happened is players who have no-lifed the expansion early on, which there's nothing wrong with that, but they've been able to take advantage of this, or they've chosen to do that piece of content as opposed to hang around on Kepler doing stuff. And because Bungie allowed it to happen for 48 hours and then ultimately turned it off, it means there is a massive disparity between the levels of various players. And that means some folks who did take advantage of it will now be able to go ahead and start farming tier 4 and 5 gear on Kepler relatively easily, and they'll be doing it a long time before other folks will be able to do it. On top of that, obviously it poses issues for the contest raid as well. You know, if you're able to farm out tier 5 armor with significantly better stats than lower tier armor, that will have an influence in the contest raid, which is now not even close to being a level playing field. There's no two ways about it. It just blows my mind that Bungie managed to firstly ship Encore in the state that it was, with a modifier that allowed players to get through it really quickly, with more loot dropping than it should. When this is a week 1 featured activity, you would assume that they would find this problem while actually playtesting the game. That's the first thing. The second thing is taking 2 days to fix it, which of course allows a margin of players to actually go ahead and grind like crazy and to get well above where other players of the game are, which ultimately allows them to smash through the Kepler content, start earning high tier loot, and we could potentially be looking at a couple of weeks or even longer than that before other players are able to catch up, which, yeah, it's just a massive problem. It's so exhausting that Bungie didn't see this. I don't understand. Plain and simply, the game does not need any more drama, so share your thoughts about it down below, and I'll let you know if we hear anything extra about it from Bungie. A couple of other bits of information from Bungie regarding systems in Edge of Fate. They say, regarding Portal and World tabs, we're going to revert the desaturation of the World tab in an upcoming update. They state that they had feedback players were confused between the Portal and the World tabs for where to find core game activities. I guess that's one of the possible issues with having both, but they want the Portal to serve as a quick access point and the World tab to support exploration of Destiny's world. So it's a positive overall. Otherwise, for Bright Dust and Pathfinder, Bungie say they're going to add an infinite infinite grind source for Bright Dust and pair it with a make good grant in an upcoming update. They add that there will be an unlimited mini objective system planned for release in Renegades that will be able to drop Bright Dust, but in the meantime they plan to add an interim replacement, and I'll keep you posted when we get further details on that. On to other things though. Due to an issue, the Spirit of the Liar armor perk has been disabled. More information on a fix will be provided when available. Syntheseps focused by Ada also don't have one of their heresy ornaments actually available, so the team are investigating a fix on that. DMG also posted about FPS drops that a lot of players are experiencing. I've noticed that on PC, different zones on Kepler, or should I say particular zones, seem to struggle with this, especially, although being a PC player, I don't seem to be running into the same number of crashes and other sort of more major bugs that a lot of folks on consoles are experiencing, so I totally get that that's very frustrating as well. It's expected that we'll run into bugs and issues, but maybe Bungie have just overstretched on the amount of system changes they've tried to implement, while also dropping a reasonably big DLC at the same time. Give us your thoughts below. Again, I'll keep you posted if we get updates. Otherwise though, Bungie have given us a roadmap of what to expect in the coming weeks, so they said Season Reclamation and future seasons will feature a content calendar featuring additional activities opening in the portal, as well as new and returning events. These events will have exclusive gear and rewards, including holofoil weapons. So in terms of what's coming to the portal in the next few weeks, the week of July 22nd, which will be the first weekly reset for Edge of Fate, Onslaught, Midtown, and Widow's Court will arrive in Fireteam Ops, and the Starcrossed Exotic Mission will arrive in Pinnacle Ops, although I think it's actually already there because they threw it in as a replacement to Encore. Probably more interesting for a lot of players, on July 29th, the Arms Week event will launch with a focus on hand cannons, so it's going to be cool to finally get that event, to be fair. I'm doing a little bit of delving into how Arms Week actually works. Hopefully I'll have a video on that relatively soon, but also on July 29th, or that week, Trials will return, so that'll mean Trials actually returns for the first time on the 1st of August, and the Coil activity will open in Fireteam Ops featuring 3 different paths to play. Then as we head into August, the weeks of August 5th to 19th, the Solstice event will take place, and matchmaking will open for Grandmaster Fireteam Ops, and they say Expert and Master matchmaking opens on the 22nd and 29th respectively. Then on the week of September 2nd, Heavy Metal will return finally, and a week after that we'll get the Ash and Iron major update. So while the game is certainly feeling different to what it did before Edge of Fate, there is still a content calendar of stuff coming up there. And they go on to say, throughout the season there'll be booster weeks where a gameplay or progression buff will be active in the portal. The first booster, Special Surge, starts next week and it will buff special ammo drops in all PvE activities in the portal, so that'll be portal exclusive by the sounds of it. Then in the Ash and Iron update on September 9th, Guardians will return to the Plaguelands and participate in a new activity, where the event sets up for the Reclaim activity. This will be a 3-player mission where resources are limited, and playing as a team is a requirement for success. The portal will expand with additional activities, customization options, new weapons and armor, and the ultimate difficulty level accessible across all of Solo, Fireteam, and Pinnacle Ops. So that's the pipeline as we know it. I am looking forward to the Plaguelands activity, to be honest. I'm really curious to see what it'll be like, what the rewards will be like. Surely Bungie will not drop that without dropping some Siva themed loot. That would be absolute madness. Don't do it. You're gonna do it, aren't you? You guys are probably starting to sense my frustration here today. Either way, in terms of the roadmap, Bungie have also said Tuesday, July 22nd, there'll be another patch. So next week, they're looking at incorrect ammo gains for aerial denial frame grenade launchers, rocket sidearms, and rocket launchers with the bipod perk, fixes for more Kepler-related softlocks and crashes, and a fix for the 3rd iteration scout rifle. Then for Tuesday, 29th of July, they're targeting fixes for Matterspark motion sickness and general visual improvements, holofoil visuals unintentionally changing, and the Tangled Web perk not suspending champions. I'm sure when those updates do drop, there'll be even more changes, and we'll get those details when it comes to patch notes, but that's the pipeline as we understand it. Something I wanted to share here though, in Solstice 2025, we'll get another Skimmer finally arriving in the game, and this one's called the Megalodasher. So it's a Megalodon shark themed Skimmer, as we can see. I'm not 100% sure how we'll actually earn it, whether it will be simply an Eververse purchase or something we may be able to earn through the event home, but it's definitely a cool one if you're after some new drip for your favorite ironing board. Let me know your thoughts down below. For today though guys, that is what we have to round up. So I hope you found this video interesting or helpful in some capacity. Sorry for being slightly salty, although I'm sure many folks probably feel similar. I've really done my best to try and stay positive and open-minded to the changes Bungie are bringing in, and I want to keep that up for as long as possible. It just requires Bungie making the correct choices and updates as required, which are going to have to iterate pretty fast given how many things are going on in the game at the moment. So give me your thoughts below. If you've enjoyed the video, a rating really does help us out. But otherwise, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.